same places on both the front and the back, so that we can answer a very important question. Who should you be getting to repair your phone? Let's call this one phone number 1. I've set a nice cheap looking green background to represent the fact that this one we're going to get repaired from literally whoever will take the least amount of money. Phone 2, this middle yellow one, is going to be repaired by someone who I think is charging a fair price. Then I'm going to set a deep red wallpaper for phone 3 because this one is going directly to Apple and it's probably going to be expensive. So we're going to be able to see how the entire experience works, who does it the cheapest, and who does it the best. Okay, so step 1 is we make some phone calls. So what are the local options in my city? These are the kind of places that I imagine will hopefully be cheaper than Apple. Okay, let's start with phone garage. Hello? Hey. I have just managed to smash my iPhone 15 in a pretty brutal way. Would you be able to repair it?
Yes, we can do that for you. It's nearly £320.
£320 for the screen of the iPhone 15?
And if you want the generic one, £180.
And then also about the back plate, because I've scratched up the back of the phone as well.
£75 on extra.
How quickly would you be able to repair it?
Back will take like 4 to 5 hours. Front takes only half an hour.
It's very interesting that this guy's saying the official Apple screen is going to cost me £320 for a phone that I only bought for $699. But it is cool that he gave us that cheaper option of £180 and then £75 for the back, because I'd be very curious how close to the original's quality that can get. That's closer to what I imagine it actually should cost for the original parts. But then I found someone willing to go even further. You know, the ones which don't actually have a website, but just like a really poorly kept Facebook page. If anyone's going to do a cheap repair, I think it's going to be these guys.
180.
180.
Give you screen protection free. We don't change only back glass, we change full housing.
But what that means is I'm going to have to get the front repaired from this guy and then the back repaired from the first place. And that will be a non-genuine screen.
Quality is very good, same as original.
Thank you very much. And that guy was pretty nice. So £180 for the screen, which he's saying is original Apple quality without being original Apple. He'll throw in a screen protector for free so that I don't do it again to myself. And then if I have any problems with it, he'll fix it. Although we do need to find out exactly how long that warranty period would last for. So e-mobile repair is going to be our cheapest option. Well, wait, the dude's already sent me a text. Absolutely crazy. You know, when they say after your first date you should wait a couple of days before texting, this guy was just straight in. Now, on my route to finding a fair middle ground repair option, I ended up having an extremely interesting chat with a not Apple, but supposedly Apple certified repair center.
Thank you for calling.
A genuine Apple replacement screen is £300 on those. The third-party screens, they don't really do them for the 15. There is the odd ones about, but they'll not do very good at all.
Has Apple changed something on the 15 that makes them less repairable?
Yes, it's hardware locks on stuff, so things are paired up to them now. If you tip the camera out of another iPhone 15 original one, put it into yours, the camera won't work at all. What some of them do to try and falsify it a little bit is they take the chip from the original screen and transfer that chip onto the replacement screen. And then it'll stop the notifications coming up. I'm an Apple technician, but not for here. When I'm at the other shop, I can do them. That's the shop that's authorised to do them, so we have to do them from that geolocation as such.
Oh, I see. So Apple actually tells you where that repair can happen as well.
Yeah, everything's coded. When we order the parts, they come direct to that store and we can only use them within that store. Because obviously Apple would know by the IP what address where you're doing it.
Wow.
There's a lot into it. They're very clever.
Now I thought, while we're here, we might as well also ask this guy if he thinks Apple makes a profit on the parts it supplies to repair centres, or if they're doing it at cost.
Oh, they'll make profit on them. Mid-chassis for a genuine, they're $439. For
Okay.
the 15 Pro Max, a chassis is £600 and a screen is £400.
What? 400 just for the screen? Can that be right? But also, Apple actually geo-locks the location of the repair centers that are authorized to make sure that the repair only happens in that exact location that's been approved. Right, now I guess we have to bite the bullet and call Apple themselves. Okay, I think you actually have to go through their website. So they have this tool that lets you calculate, I guess. So cracked screen, iPhone 15, yeah, £289. And then what if the back glass is damaged? 169 is what it's saying. So then I can do cracked screen and back glass damage together, and that's going to be $399. That's definitely cheaper than what the last guy was telling us. But it's all just so weird how much disinformation there is between these different repair places. Anyways, turns out there is no Apple store in my area. But it's fine, because what Apple does then is sends you to a store that they've approved to do it on behalf of them. So let's call them.
We have Apple trained engineers and they use all Apple certified parts, so it's the same as Apple themselves. Most repairs, if we've got parts in, take about 3 hours.
Okay, that's pretty fast.
If we've not got parts in, which if it's most parts we might not, you're normally looking around about 2 to 3 working days in the repair for you.
It seems like the nearest appointment you have is Tuesday, is that right? Okay, I mean, there's kind of good news in the sense that I was expecting this to potentially take 10 to 15 days going the official route. He's suggesting it can actually be done same day, although because they're so busy, that same day has to be 5 days from now. What I'm finding really interesting here is that Apple themselves are not actually the most expensive repair option. The most expensive actually seems to be the companies who use official Apple parts, but who aren't themselves Apple. The way that it clearly works is you either go cheap, you go to a local place and you get local unauthorized parts, and that is going to be your cheapest option, or you go to Apple themselves, in which case you pay a high price, but then you do get everything the official way. It doesn't feel like there's an in-between option though that makes sense in any way. Like if you go to third-party repair places, but then specify that you also want Apple official parts, you'll actually pay more than just going to Apple. But we should try it as a third option just in case there are any surprises on the way. Right, so let's call up the delightfully named iCrack. I just wanted to get a quote.
£330 for the standard quality.
Wow.
450 for the original screen and original back.
This standard screen, like how good is it compared to the original screen?
It's obviously not that good.
But the original screens you get from used iPhones, is that right?
Yes, please.
We'll stick with the 451 then.
It will be take 3 to 4 working days.
It's so strange that there's a situation in which the really kind of dodgy hodgepodge repairs, why that is more expensive than Apple's official one. Right, so I think we have our 3 repair options. We have the completely unofficial repair, which is going to cost £180 for the screen from one shop, and then £75 for a new back to be stuck on from another shop. Then there's unofficial repair, but using real parts, which is going to cost £330 for the screen, and then £120 for the back, so £450. And then there's the full official channel, which is Apple's £400 repair. Let's get the ball rolling with them. So, we're still on day 0. We're on our way to the cheapest repair place. But I think I'm actually kind of proud with how symmetrically I've managed to destroy these. It's almost like a work of art. Oh, okay. I don't think it's open yet. That's actually a very cool logo though. You see the phone with the notch? Might just like give the phone number a ring. Hi, I called earlier today. We're waiting outside the store for a phone repair. 10 apparently. Oh my god. Hi. And so you were saying you could do a unofficial screen repair for 180, and then you do a tempered glass screen protector. Yeah. So basically every feature should work the same way. And you think the quality looks the same?
Yeah.
You could do this, you're saying, within about an hour?
Yeah.
Right, well, I can't speak to the quality of the repair yet, but what I really like about these small shops, as opposed to the big corporations, is they just get it done, as opposed to like, schedule in an appointment, and then we'll check stock of parts, and maybe we'll order them in from our warehouse. But we move. Time to tackle our next repair store.
Yahoo!
iCrack.
Sounds a bit funny and that, but never mind.
Why did they call themselves iCrack? That implies they're the ones doing the cracking. What was wrong with iFix? A glorious haven of the modern society. A broken iPhone here, my friend Carbs.
330 for the standard quality both, and 450 for the original screen and original back.
Unless you get it replaced from the Apple itself, you will get a message saying it's not an Apple original part.
£450 is just wild for a phone that I paid $699 for. Something about the current state of the repair industry really sucks. And I can't tell right now if it's because of Apple, who is specifically coding the parts in your iPhone to make sure they only work in your iPhone, or if it's just on the repairers. So, both non-Apple repair phones have been dropped. We're still on the first day, mind you, so I was expecting to wait a little bit of time to hear from anyone. But I have learned never to underestimate e-mobile repair. We've only been back about 45 minutes. I just want to confirm, phone fixed and ready, thanks. Crazy. Hello. The entire front panel is gone.
Yeah.
And that's what's been replaced. Okay. It's the actual screen that's being fitted. To be honest, I actually think that it's a generic one. And that brand sticker's been stuck on afterwards, just to add legitimacy to it. Sorry, I peeled that label. It's a true tone. Yeah.
It's a copy.
Exact copy.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess this is one immediate downside of going via the ultra cheap route, because it's basically just 2 months warranty scribbled onto a tiny little receipt. I think they'd probably honor it out of goodwill, but you don't really have a guarantee in the same way that you do when you go via official channels. But remember, we're not done yet with this one. Because eMobile Repair didn't offer a back replacement, I have to make another stop to be able to get that done. My friend decided to carve something into it, so I just want to swap it. You guys said you could do it same day. Well, £75?
Order it. Sorry, it will be till tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yes. Okay. We'll order the back, yeah. I mean, that's kind of unfortunate, really. They did say on the phone that it would be done same day, and now they're saying we actually have to pay the cash first so that they order the part so that they can then do it. It's still a lot faster than the official route, but it just doesn't feel good to be thrown around like that. Okay, so we're about to collect the fully repaired, cheapest repair phone.
Yeah, just working on your phone again. The connection was loose.
We'll come back in 15 minutes, is that okay? That actually doesn't give me a lot of confidence in the quality of repair if they've already found a loose part. So I did what I always do when I have 15 minutes to spare. The Pokemon card shop. Never gets old. Right. Now let's pick up the phone. So the rubber bands are keeping the back on?
Yes.
Do you think this will void the warranty as well?
Yes.
I actually kind of feel bad for it. It looks like it's just come out of surgery. Ooh, actually, I just realized something. Okay, we need to talk about this. Oh wow. It's actually giving me a temperature warning. Obviously, the glue gun they've used to fix this is not an Apple-approved fixing method. There's been a slight hiccup with phone number 2.
We can't get the original screen and original back for it right now. There are some shops which deal with the original parts.
How do they get the parts, the original parts?
I have no idea, but very honest.
So it's not great that they've agreed to a service before knowing that they could do it, and slightly alarming that they don't know where their parts are coming from. Is there a way you can just request the original parts and we wait a bit longer?
I can ask the guy in the main lab. Half an hour, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, he didn't get back to me.
It's not available in the market, as I told you before.
So you have no estimated time when that's going to come?
Exactly what.
I think I'll leave it then. Thank you. Oh dear. Okay, we are bright and early on day number 5, and we're going straight to our very official Apple appointment.
Starting out.
How is the official Apple route cheaper than many other places?
Official Apple pricing with display and backlash separately is about 468.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they would take into account that
Right.
it's cheaper when you get both done at the same time. With the 50 backlash down,
Okay.
so it would be display being taken off, backlash taken off, because on the older models you would have to replace the entire back of the phone.
So that means I don't need to wipe my phone or anything like that. Like, that's really good. How does the warranty work? Is it the same warranty that I purchased it with, or do you get an extended warranty?
It's continuing the warranty you have at the moment, or if you had less than 90 days, it would extend it. So we're out of backlash at the moment, so it would be a 3 working day.
3 working days, so Tuesday.
Probably around Thursday, Friday.
So you guys can't tell me now when it will be in, it'll be a text.
It would actually affect 20.
Pretty positive experience, to be honest. Like, yes, obviously expensive, but now we know that it's not as expensive as it gets. And it is really good to know that the official repair route no longer needs you to wipe your phone. And I suppose the other part of it is, as much as I don't love that this is a thing, this is your only way to guarantee that you can actually keep your warranty. Like, as soon as you start getting those not genuine parts messages, it's gone, right? This is actually really interesting. Now, there's a good chance you've heard that Apple has been in quite a bit of hot water over the last few years for trying to control the repair process. And rightly so, to be honest, because, I mean, if you think about the percentage value of the phone that we've just had to pay just to fix it, it's almost cheaper just to buy a working used one on eBay. But I do feel that we've just witnessed the first signs of that changing. Let's just try Opera's Aria AI here. What has Apple changed on their newer iPhones that allows them to be cheaper to repair? Okay, so modular design, which means that individual components are easier to take off separately. So I guess that's why they no longer need to completely replace the phone. They can just fix what's there. And then also easier disassembly, so fewer mechanisms and adhesives. So I can get rid of all of this, and then new tab within a new tab island, which is one of the best things about Opera's browser. Everything actually feels organized. So if we go to Apple's repair cost estimator, iPhone 15, which is what we already did, it's going to tell us that it will cost $399. We knew that. But if you change that to iPhone 14 Pro, which is the last phone using the previous less repairable architecture, $619 to repair a phone. That is an absolute joke. The only remaining question then is this whole parts pairing thing that Apple does. This idea that Apple has to specifically assign a part to authorize it to be able to work within your specific iPhone. Otherwise, it's non-genuine parts pop-up messages and voiding of your warranty, as well as in some cases the parts just not working at all. That's an ARIA question too, to be fair. What are the arguments for and against Apple's parts pairing on their iPhones? So yeah, the perks are quality control. It's Apple's way of making sure that if you get an iPhone, you're having the iPhone experience all the time. But then I suppose to some extent it is also for the security of the customer. Like, let's say you go to a knockoff repair store to fix your Face ID scanner, for example, and then they fix that with a knockoff Face ID part that may scan your face data in a less secure way, and then something happens and then you blame it on your iPhone. I guess Apple's trying to avoid that situation. But then on the other hand, parts pairing does severely limit the user's choice when it comes to options for repairing their phone. Like, this whole process has been very shocking to me. I expected to be able to walk into these shops and there'd be 15 different tiers of repair options I could go with, all at different price points. But the truth is, it's just not worth it for most companies because the iPhone's going to reject most kinds of repair and the consumer won't be happy with them. And then, yeah, actually also the fact that people feel like this behavior encroaches on their right to repair. The fact that, like, I'm having to pay £400 or else there is a pretty major downside, that does feel like a problem. But there's a glimmer of hope. It feels like it is creeping towards the right direction. Because actually 2 weeks ago, Apple changed their policy to allow you to repair iPhones using used parts. Like, they still have to be genuine parts. It doesn't fix that problem. But they can be genuine parts from an older used iPhone that isn't specifically the one model that those parts were designed for. Okay, let's skip to actually picking up the 2 remaining phones so we can dig into some results. And if you want to try the Opera browser for yourself, the sponsor of this video, to be able to do all of this stuff, then link is in the description. I would strongly recommend at least trying. So, time to pick up the finished phone from Apple and the remains of the phone from iCrack. What's the reason that they're not coming up with parts?
Don't know exactly.
Okay. Alright, well, thank you. That's alright. Hello, I'm just picking up a repair. So they've done the screen and they've done the...
Back glass and display, yeah. You distribute the box.
That is me, yes.
No way.
Oh, you watch together?
Yeah, man.
Using a
Thank
Pixel?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's lovely to meet you. Now, clearly, this did not go as I was expecting it to go. I thought there'd be a really cheap option, a middle option, and then the premium official option. After all of this, I would end up telling you, middle is fine. Now, I would say that the premium option is about what I expected it to be. It's expensive. I mean, £400 to repair a phone that once you've used it is only worth about £500 to £600 is absolutely crazy. But also, you're not likely to get an appointment straight away, which means that even though the repair in this case was pretty fast, it took 2 days in total, because I had to wait 5 days to actually get that repair in, the total time is 7 days, which in today's age is a long time to spend without your phone. But you keep your original warranty, and the warranty is actually extended if you're near the end of it. Your phone keeps its waterproofing, and I mean, it really does just look like Apple gave me a brand new phone, with the perks of actually them not having to replace the device. I mean, I can't see a single imperfection on either the front or the back, so clearly there are some substantial quality checks in place when you go down this route. The middle option makes no sense at all. I mean, if you want genuine Apple parts, you're going to have to just pay more going through this way than just going through that. Everyone loses in this situation. You're not going to get the same quality checks. Your back is effectively going to be glued on, so it's going to be messy and you're going to lose your waterproofing. Your warranty is basically void on arrival. And even though they can use official Apple parts, there is still a very good chance that you're going to get a notification saying that they're not genuine parts because of this whole parts pairing. So only Apple, as well as the few sellers that they authorize to work on their behalf, have the software required to authenticate your parts. And without that, the resale value of your phone is just going to plummet. And that's if these third-party sellers can even find a real Apple part, which in my case they could not. So I just told them, don't bother. I'm just going to have to take the L on this phone. But hey, if you're finding this video useful, then a sub to the channel, well, would be cracking. Just not eye-cracking. But the cheap option, this one is a lot more interesting, because this in total has cost me £255, and in my case it took 1 day, and that's just because of the delay getting the backplate in. But had they had that in stock, this could have been a same-day repair. And like, obviously I am in the lucky position where if I send my phone in, I have other smartphones I can use, but a lot of people don't. For a lot of people, handing in your smartphone might well mean living with a dumb phone or no phone for that time. And so being able to minimize that gap is a big perk. What is the quality of the repair like? I feel like we got a bonus for these rubber bands. Okay, for starters, the tempered glass screen protector they've put on the front is actually not quite the right size for this phone. It's kind of peeking out the bottom of the screen in a way that, once you've noticed it for the first time, is pretty distracting. It's really not good. There's actually a crack in the screen protector itself already. There's a weird shadowing around the dynamic island, which actually makes it look a lot like a fake iPhone. Let's take this screen protector off. Oh wow. Yeah, even without the screen protector, the screen who's fitted is actually a lot thicker. So the phone is much less seamless too than it originally was. The viewing angles are absolutely atrocious. Like as soon as you rotate this more than 30 degrees, it just turns into a red mess. Does True Tone still work? Let's see. Well actually, yeah, it's gone. The option for